boy, America, I have to tell you, if you've been watching this program, you know that I just think that we're watching a puppet show. There is a very big global game that is being played way above us, and it is all about your individual rights. And I've been asking for a while, when is someone going to stand up? It's why we started the 9/12 Project. It's what, I mean, that thing right behind here, it was because I thought, when are people going to stand up? When are people? And they have stood up. We have over 500,000 people that are part of the 9/12 Project. They're 9/12ers. Well, there's something else going on, and nobody in the media is covering it. And it fascinates me because I think this is the beginning of what I'd like to call the civilist war, where no shot is fired. This has gigantic repercussions if this works. I want to introduce you to Judge Napolitano, Fox News senior, judicial analyst. How are you, sir?
And your comrade in arms.
Oh, holy cow. Holy cow. Explain quickly what's just happened in Montana.
The state of Montana enacted legislation which says if a gun is made in Montana and never leaves the state, and if the ammunition using that gun is manufactured in Montana and never leaves the state, because it doesn't cross interstate lines, the federal government cannot regulate it. Only the state of Montana will.
Okay. All right. I have to get into because the interstate commerce is regulated by the federal government, and they played such games in the 30s and the 40s.
Right.
We'll get into that here in just a second. But tell me quickly, if this scheme, if you will, would work, if this actually happens and passes the Supreme Court, this changes this is as big as Roe versus Wade.
Oh, sure. This shrinks the ability of the federal government, of the Congress, back to where the founders gave it. They used the phrase to regulate interstate commerce, meaning to regulate everything they want. The founders used the word regulate, meaning its original meaning, to make regular, to make sure there is interstate commerce, not to tax it, not to regulate it, and not to legislate it out of existence.
America, listen, if you care about your country, if you are somebody who believes in states' rights, individual rights, etc., this is huge, and you've got to start doing this in your state. Let's go to Utah. I'm going to introduce you to two people. Utah State Representative Carl Wimmer and Texas State Representative Leo Berman. Let me start with, let me start in Utah here. Representative Wimmer, first of all, you started the Patrick Henry, what is this, the Patrick Henry Caucus?
Yeah, Glenn, the Patrick Henry Caucus is a brand new caucus that we're formed. We just finished forming it here in Utah, and we intend on taking it to every state in the nation. What it is states fighting back. It is the legislatures engaging in this battle for states' rights and individual rights. And it's my intention to take it to the states and have every state in the nation have a Patrick Henry Caucus where we can work together to pass strong states' rights legislation, not toothless resolutions, but tough state rights.
Okay, so what are you introducing in Utah? How similar is it to what has just been passed and signed by the governor in Montana?
We are going to be running a law that is almost identical to Montana. Right now, we are actually looking into making it stronger. The liberals like to have these sanctuary cities that protect illegal immigrants who come and violate federal law. I'm looking into the possibility of creating a sanctuary state to protect our constitutional rights, especially the Second Amendment. We're looking into seeing if we can't strengthen Montana's law, take it further, and essentially tell the federal government that any further gun bans, any further gun regulations in violation of the Constitution will not be recognized in this state.
I understand that you're a 9/12er.
I am indeed. That was one of the things that led me into creating the Patrick Henry Caucus. I was one day after a 9/12 meeting, I was looking at my children, and the thought came to me that I do not want to grow old, Glenn, and have to answer to them, Dad, you're in the legislature. Why didn't you fight harder for my liberty and my freedom? And me and 4 of my very close friends in the state legislature came up with the idea for the Henry Caucus, and I sure hope it starts a grass fire.
All right, hang on just a second. Well, I've got to take a quick break. Then I want to come back to Texas, find out what they're doing in Texas, and then we'll explain what all of this means. You will not believe the changes that this will make in America and what the odds are of it's being successful. It will blow your mind. Next. I'm taking you down a path that I have not seen anybody report on, and it amazes me because this is the beginning of what I'd like to call the civilist war. This is a battle in the courts that could change and reverse everything, starting back with the progressive movement, starting everything that FDR did. It is the consequences of this are so far-reaching. States' rights. Let me go to Utah State Representative Carl Wimmer, Texas State Representative Leo Berman, and we also have on the set here our senior judicial analyst and author of a brand new book, Dred Scott's Revenge, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Okay, let me go to Texas real quick. Representative Berman,
Yes, sir.
Is this what you're trying to pass? Is it what Montana just passed, which basically nullifies all federal laws on any guns made in Montana? Is this the same thing you're passing?
It's the same thing, Glenn. We know that under the 9th and 10th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, states are vested with the regulatory right for intrastate commerce, and we're going to exercise that right. The federal government has not intervened. They haven't taken any product and preempted our right, especially with firearms, firearms components, and ammunition. So we're going to pass the same bill that Montana is passing, and the governor of Montana just signed 2 days ago. Their bill will go into effect on October 10th, and they intend to challenge it in the federal court almost immediately.
So they're trying to kick it up to the Supreme Court right away.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yes. We've also done another thing, Glenn. We have a concurrent resolution, HCR 50, which actually reasserts our sovereignty in relation to the federal government. And what it says is that we are a sovereign state under the Texas Constitution as well as the U.S. Constitution. And if the federal government or the Congress is going to mandate anything on the state of Texas that is not fully authorized by the U.S. Constitution, we're not going to do it.
Holy cow. Holy cow. I mean, both of you there in your state houses in Utah and Texas, and we tried to get the governor out today on from Montana. Do you guys realize what I mean, you are kicking right in their face. Anvils are going to start falling out of the sky on you guys. Right?
I have no doubt, Glenn, that we're going to be added even more to that terrorist watch list. Someone has to do something. The citizens are holding the Tea Party protests. The 9/12 program is wonderful, but it is time for the state legislatures to step up and engage.
Real quick, because I want to go to the judge and find out the ramifications. Let me just switch subjects here with you real quick, because you're a retired police officer, right?
I am.
Okay. I just got this, that the Obama administration said today they want to slash in almost half benefits for a program for families of slain police and safety officers. The proposed budget calls for cutting the public safety officers' death benefits program from $110 million to $60 million. Why would the president do this to police officers?
I have no idea, Glenn. It makes a job that's already underpaid even less attractive.
What do you think that how do you think police officers are going to respond to that?
I hope they come out in droves and they protest. Oftentimes they're hard to unite because they're so busy working overtime to protect you and I.
Okay, listen, you stay in touch with me. Representative Berman, will you do me a favor? You stay in touch with me. You let me know
I'll do that, Glenn. Thank you.
Exactly what's going on.